So back to our original point is what? We want the BDC to be challenging the sales department. We want the sales department to be challenging the BDC. Pool of prospects, there's plenty. Fresh leads, previous customers, service customers, referral, follow-up shows, previous contacts. Can we count all these part of the 300 fresh leads? Nope. Fresh leads are fresh leads. You are to supply them 250 to 300 fresh leads. That's why having access to all those is wonderful through the Tega technologies by sending a letter or an email or following up with the service customer becomes a warmer call. So far so good. Is everybody grabbing all this? Am I going too fast? Ladies and gents. Number 10, accountability and measurement. Unlike the salespeople, you must make small corrective adjustments. If they're doing something wrong, just small, very gently, by the way. Very gently. You know, me and you, Pete, we probably can make a lady cry in a heartbeat. Not this lady, they'll eat us up. But I'm talking about other girls. So we need to be very soft when we're talking to them. You girls, when you talk, like if you're a boss and you're a very strong figured, you know, like in a very high position, you can't go to a guy and rip him because he'll quit before he have a woman just tear him up. So we all need to be what? Very, I mean, look, you guys are laughing at me, but this is real stuff. That's why this business fails. I mean, I am funny, but I'm not. I'm serious too. This is why 1 out of 4 BDC centers within the first 75 days fail. This is why 9 out of 10 will no longer exist after a year. Gone. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that got invested in payroll, training, equipment, and all that stuff. So this stuff is like the 20 commandments. Only 10 of them didn't get lost. You already have the 20 commandments here. You saw that movie too. Anyway. 11, physical work environment. Do not buy chairs with arms. Why? They'll break them. They will break them. Tell me they won't break them. No, they will break them. Not everybody's going to be weigh 100 pounds in that place. More importantly, if they have arms, what do? Relax. Okay. You're going to go into my BDC center and you're going to see some of them with arms. And I'm trying to tell you, this is out of experience. The next set of chairs won't have any arms. You guys feel me? Again, this is not a theory. This is factual stuff. Right, Greg? Greg, how many arms did we replace for the last year? Half? Half of our chairs have new arms? Yeah, and Laura just went zzz, zzz. That's it. We'd have no arms. No food, no drinks. Sam, would you like to talk to somebody that's chewing on a hamburger while they're setting an appointment? Okay. No drinks. How about... Anyway. No. No chewing gum. Nasty habit to talk to people with a chewing gum. And just because you're chewing and you don't hear yourself doesn't mean the rest of the world doesn't hear you, okay? Stop. It's nasty. And we don't want to hear that over the phone. I don't know about you, but I hang up on people. I got some good friends that decide to take a bite while they're talking to me. Guess what they're going to hear? Because I hung up on them. Well, I'm playing the odds. This is car business stuff. This is car world, right? I'm playing the odds. The odds are that some people are not going to be offended while you're eating, while talking to them. The odds are some people are going to be offended. Since some of them are going to be offended, I'm not going to do it. Regarding breaks, can you have smoke breaks every 20 minutes on the 10 minutes? What does that mean? If you're a smoker, it needs to be part of the deal is that you can't take breaks but every so long. I tell you what, we have this what is the program that we have in our center right now? Live Well and Prosper? Yeah, Laura has this great program that if you quit smoking, not only she pays for everything that needs to be done, but she rewards you accordingly. If you lose weight, you get rewarded. If you do this, I mean, this is just like we want to treat everybody like they're part of our family, and this is our family. We don't want them to die. Like I tell all my friends, look, dude, I just don't want to go to your funeral. At least not in 60 years. How's that sound? Let's grow old together. Don't hurt my feelings and go away on me fast. Stop. Plus, I want some playing buddies. Right, Bill? Yeah. Because it's boring on the top alone by yourself, isn't it, Matt? I mean, you're familiar with that concept. Being on top alone. Just kidding, man. He goes. So let's care about our people. Let's look at our company and try to, what? bring them up. So if it's smoking, let's have rules. And you can't go on a smoke break every 15 minutes. It's horrible. Okay, real quick, dress code. Should you look like a mullet if you're in BDC? Should you? What is a mullet? Is it a haircut? A mullet is a figure of speech. A mullet is a kind of a fish that lives and eats garbage. And the way you catch it, they're so dumb, all you have to do is put a light inside your boat and go very slow at night, and they will literally jump on your boat. So what you want to do is you want to put a piece of cloth on top of your boat, put the light on the bottom of it, and mullets will jump in. Now, what did I just tell you? Well, I don't know, but I'm telling you, you can't look bad being in the BDC center. You just can't look bad. Because if you don't look good, the kind of work and quality work is not going to be good. Am I right? Sir, what's your name? You're going to be our guest speaker this afternoon. What's your name? Can you tell him?
Pete Hancock.
Pete Hancock. Can you please stand up for me? Now, how would you like for every one of your salespeople to look like Pete? Have a seat, sir. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you participating in this. But a BDC center, they don't see anybody. Well, it's a proven fact that Casual Friday has proven, beyond a shadow of doubt, that it's a very unproductive day. Microsoft and all those, it's good for morale. The hell it is, because morale is never good when you're not making money. Is it? I don't know of anything more of a downer, is there? You're not making money, but I'm excited. Okay, great. Wish I was that dumb and that happy at the same time. So they need to look good. Now, should they have a tie and a shirt all the time? No, but they need to look good. Their nails, their face, should they come in like they just rolled out of bed? Send them home. I love the girls when they walk in, or the guys, and they got their snow hood on, and they're walking in, and of course they're all bundled up. They got their, what do they call them? Donald, what's that little, huh? Duck boots on, yeah, and they're yellow. But some of them got, some stuff spilled on it, so then now they're multicolor. Anyway, and they walk in and they move in and they sit there and they bury themselves behind the desk, and now they're going to make calls. Oh my God, no, please don't touch the phone. The phone rings, don't answer it. Leave it alone. They can't do that, and then they scratch their head every once in a while, oh, and it's awful. But you can't do that. They got to look good. They got to look presentable. If anything, just for me. When I walk in the room, so I can feel good about myself and my team. A little selfish, but it's okay. No jeans, no t-shirt, no sandals, no duck boots. Recruiting BDRs. Do not advertise for telemarketers. That will never happen. You can advertise for appointment setter and customer service. Telephone. You can put the description, but don't advertise for telemarketers. The interview process, phone interviews, invite to seminars, in-person interviews, invite to boot camp, personally test, as in personality test, recruit, background investigation, hire, and train. Who's in to doing all that? That's the only way it's going to work. And here's the numbers how it works. $500 applications, 500 people apply for the job. 150 phone interviews, because out of the 500, you're going to pick 150 to interview. We are going through this right now. Matt, we are going through this right now. Our team is going through this right now. 500 applications we're reviewing. We're going to do 150 interviews. We're going to invite 100 to a seminar or a face-to-face interview. 50 to be invited to a boot camp. 50 to basically go into the boot camp, because it's kind of funny. You invite 50, only 40 shows up. You'd think after all that process, by the time you invite 50, all of 55 will show up. Look, this company's so great, I got to drag this person with me. No, they went through the whole process, and some of them don't show up. And then after that, after the 40 that goes through the boot camp, 6 can be what? Hired. How many of them stay? 2, 3, 4, 5 if you're lucky. How many of them will last for a long time? 3. And that's why it's an incredible what? Grind. Is it worth it when it's running great? There is nothing more worth it than when it's running great. When it's not running great, it's the most challenging thing a car guy could ever have. That being said, you have to be committed to have BDC centers. If not, find something else to do. And we already know that car guys answering the calls full time is not appropriate. But please don't forget about teaching your salespeople how to do phone training. That should be part of your training repertoire. How you like that word? That's a 50-cent word. You must find people who are used to working what? In an untraditional hours. I love the people that have BDC centers and say, well, we're going to have people morning shift, we're going to have people night shift. That never works. Because once you assign a lead and the lead is called and it's working, and you call him in the morning and you can't catch him, and you call him in the morning and you can't catch him, and then you call him in the morning and you can't catch him, and when you're done calling him in the morning, you call him in the morning and you can't catch him. Can anybody tell me why we're not catching him? Because we're not calling him at night, because he's working in the morning. I wonder why we're losing so many leads. These lead company don't work. No, you haven't looked at your numbers. You're not evaluating it. I'm not beating anybody up. I know I'm speaking to the leadership of leadership here. I'm speaking to people who are looking for answers and they're on the cutting edge of the business. But I have to give you such a very harsh facts here. This is not sugarcoating. I think you guys have seen that I've changed my tone of voice here a little bit. This is not sugarcoating anything. This is really pure facts. And nobody has ever came out and said, this is why BDCs fail. I don't know of one trainer that came up with this and made it that specific. Because chances are not many of them are running a BDC center. Okay. You must find people who are used to working untraditional hours, retail hours, hotel, restaurant, law enforcement, and others. Why? These guys are always used to messed up hours, right? Hey, by the way, is it a good idea to bring a car salesman and put him in BDC? He works untraditional hours. Can anybody tell me? How untraditional of hours do those car people work? Pretty messed up, isn't it? Anyway. Is it a good idea? Negative ghostwriter. Why?
Too many bad habits.
Well, okay. Explain that to me.
Well, they're going to tend to give the person on the phone way too much information.
Why? Because they're trying to sell a car. What is the BDC person trying to do? The BDR is trying to what? Sell an appointment. Two big things, right? Two big differences. Okay. If you're going to spend an X amount of money in time and effort to train and you better sure, let me put it this way. If you're going to spend the time, if you're going to spend the money, if you're going to spend the effort, make sure you're hiring the right people. And there's a lot of ways for you to go through a complete, wonderful way of personality test and, face-to-face interview and all that. But again, it takes time and effort. But you need to do it if you're planning to do it. Because of the average BDC center in America with a amount of 6 to 8 people plus a manager is an investment anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000. Well, Helmy, that is not true because I'm spending 15 to 20. Okay, that's great. How much training are you doing? Not much. How's it working out for you? Not working out. Okay, great. As long as we got that handled. So if you're going to do it, spend the money and get it handled. If you're not going to do it, don't do it. But don't do it halfway because it never works. Doing it just enough for you to be close to good, it just doesn't count. It's a very, very volatile position here. Please allow me to stress the fact I'm not talking you out of having your own BDC. Remember, I think you should. But before I say you should have the time, the effort, and that kind of commitment to do what? To do it. Be consistent with your schedule. By the way, this is a good advice for everybody, whether you're in BDC or not, but it really gets amplified in BDC because they're not one of those people that think quick on their feet and act, most of our guys and girls have things planned 3 weeks from now, don't they? I don't have things planned 3 weeks from now. And they're all flexible. Everything is up to change for me. But I'm built a little bit different. Remember that we're talking with people that are a little bit different. They don't think the way we do. So if you have a BDC schedule and all of a sudden you're Matt, which Matt doesn't do that, but I'm going to use Matt anyway, and he decides that he's going to have a sale this weekend. And he calls Robin because Robin is the bad news girl. She has to go and deliver all bad news, right? Matt's not going to do it. Matt is in a protective environment. He's in the clouds, right? And he goes ahead, all right, I want everybody in BDC, bell to bell for the next 3 days. Take a picture of everybody. They're gone. They might work those 3 days till they get their check and their history. They are not going to allow you to mess their life. They're not committed, man. All they want is that hourly job with the appointments. And if you're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy explaining to them the attitude and motivating them and throwing Doug Christensen on and throwing Daryl, there's a little bit of tolerance level. But no matter how much tolerance level, how much believe and all that, and I'm very proud of my BDC people. I'm telling you right now, I sat down with a management leadership meeting about 2 weeks ago. I almost cried. Because we had 6 people in our company sitting there, they themselves were coming up with things that, hey, let's do this, and we're very committed, and we're excited, and it's not right for somebody to act like this. And I was like sitting back, and I almost cried listening to all of them. I mean, I was getting pretty emotional, I'm sure just like you are with your guys being here and watching them interact with each other. You understand, you guys seen that climatic moment in leadership. And Greg, you were part of that deal, and I'm very proud of you, buddy. But that being said, they still won't have that tolerance level of you changing their schedule on a moment notice. They just don't like that. I mean, even when you were a salesperson, you didn't like that, did you? But it was just the way it is, you know. Well, for them, it's not the way it is, because there's a lot of $10 and $11 jobs. True? Okay. BDC hours, 35 hours. Pay them on 40. Why do we do that? Because we're idiots, right? No, because after 35 hours, they're not really very productive. And if you don't pay them on 40, it's not a full-time job. And if it's not a full-time job, they're going to go somewhere else. 5 days, not 6 days, not 7 days. Some of them will come to you and say, hey, can I work 60? Can I work 60, Greg? What do we tell them? Nope. Greg, do you ask for 60? You lying sly dog. Anyway, some of the real good BDC people will always ask for more. Don't give it to them so easy, because sometimes when your son asks for candy, are you going to give him candy every time? Well, I will. My wife won't. But, you know, I mean, I'm okay with my son eating chocolate at 8:30 at night so he can bounce right off the wall. It gives me an extra hour and a half for me to play with him, you know. But that being said, you can't give them everything they want, because sometimes they just don't know what's good for them. If they work 50 hours a week, man, they're burnt. They're doing 35 hours worth of work and sitting down and not doing much for the next 15 minutes. As a matter of fact, it influenced the other 35 hours that they're working. How's that sound so far? You guys with me? You agree with some of this stuff? Okay. Calling hours, 8 to 8, 8 to 9, depending on your state limitations. And the one thing that I wanted to say about BDC, please, 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 please. Again, I keep saying this so many times because I don't want to sound like I'm selling my call center, because I'm not. I'm just trying to tell you that it's very important for you to have your own. If you don't have your own, that's what you need to relate to. Bill, we already know your position. We know some people have tried it and it didn't work out. It's not something that you want to try. And by the way, Josh, do we do a decent job on your 250 to 400 calls on your mailer? Yeah, and here's another thing, by the way, just an advice to all the dealers here. You have your own BDC. You never listen to your calls. You never monitor your salespeople. You never do anything. You go and hire somebody else's. Now you become the BDC expert as a dealer. Now you're going to listen to every call and critique everything that person is doing. Well, buddy, if you have that much time, why don't you go have your own? Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say, if you have that time and effort, don't farm it out. Make it work at your place. And run it by the numbers. You have 100 leads. 65 to 70% of them need to be appointed, providing that they're quality leads. Of those 65, 70, 50% of those need to show. And if you have a real sales force, anywhere from 20 to 35% need to be sold. That's it. It's that sexy. What's the percentage for salespeople as far as 100 leads? How many appointments they will set? Yeah, they will. How many? Of 100 leads, how many appointments are they going to set? They will contact 10 and set 2.